guys, welcome back to my channel, Shelf Life Extension. My name is Alexis, and today I'm going to talk to you about some books. You know, books, a channel, booktube, talking about books. So pretty much I'm going to talk to you about the books that I've read ever since my last video where I talked about books, which was probably way back in March or April. I have read quite a few, but I'm only going to talk to you about 5 of them because some of the other ones are rereads, and I'm not going to get into them because I've talked about them a lot on this channel. And also, I just want to go ahead and quickly apologize for the weird little kind of video clips that I've been adding onto my channel lately. A lot of my program here at school a lot of my programs here at school require me to make multimedia presentations, so a lot of it is audio and visual things that have to be uploaded to YouTube. So a lot of the things that I've done are unlisted because generally, obviously, they don't really go with BookTube or like my vlog channel. I don't really want them on there either. But for the couple that are on my channel, obviously like the Rose Garden Declaration video that I made, that was for one class, and obviously it's the Rose Garden is my favorite book, so I was like, well, that can go on my booktube. The most recent one with Tango, if you haven't watched that, please watch it. It's a really quick 40-second video, and it was for a viral video contest that we're doing in one of the classes that I'm in right now. So obviously I put that on this channel because it would reach a lot more and quickly. And then, yeah, so I just try to keep anything that I do that is somewhat related to BookTube or I feel is somewhat appropriate for this channel on this channel. Otherwise, the rest of it I do, you know, keep unlisted and I try and put on other channels as well. So just a quick apology. Otherwise, if you haven't checked out that Tango video, please look at it. It's super cute. And also, this isn't much for a setup. I'm waiting on a backdrop to show up. It should be here by next week. And it's really cool. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen what it is. I am super stoked for it to show up, and it would just make this look a lot better. Obviously, I don't have much with me. This is all that I've brought, so I know it's not much to look at, but something's coming, okay? So be ready. Alright, otherwise I'm just gonna go ahead and get started and talk about the books that I've read. So the first book that I read since my last video was Prudence by Gail Carriger. Now Gail Carriger is one of my favorite authors. Her Soulless series is amazing. If you love that Victorian London steampunk paranormal romance kind of feel for a book, you will absolutely love her Soulless series. I was first introduced to it by Lyndsay from Lyndsay Ray, who unfortunately isn't doing BookTube anymore. I'm so sad, and I didn't know that. But otherwise, Soulless follows a woman named Alexia Terabody. She is a preternatural. It means that anytime she touches a supernatural being, they become human to her touch. So Prudence is the first book in her new series. Right now, it's a duology. I'm not sure if another book is coming up. So there's Prudence and Imprudence. So Prudence follows Alexia's daughter, named Prudence, and her adventures, kind of like finding her way through the supernatural world and the supernatural existence that she has as well. Because unlike her mother, where her mother touches someone and they become human, when Prudence touches someone, she becomes what they are. So for a limited time, but still, she can technically take their power, leave them human for that time being, and she takes on whatever they are. I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of fun. You get introduced to all these new characters, but they're all connected to the original characters. A lot of them are children of those main characters in the Soulless series, and it's just so much fun. It's sassy, it's witty, the romance is really cute, the characters are just fun, and definitely if you enjoyed Soulless and you enjoy those types of books, you will love Prudence. So I did start Imprudence, which is the second book, but I totally forgot it at home, so I'm gonna have to have my parents send it to me. So it's gonna take me a while to actually get to that one. Otherwise, moving on, I did read 3 SUSANNA KEARSLEY novels after that, which started out with A Desperate Fortune, then on to The Rose Garden, and then on to Named of the Dragon, in which case I broke it up by reading Jane Steele. Jane Steele, oh my gosh, I freaking loved that book because it's a retelling of Jane Eyre, but Jane is actually a murderer, or a murderess would be the proper term. So if you've read the story of Jane Eyre, you pretty much know that just follows her and her life from childhood, living under her aunt and her cousin, and how they were a rich family and she just kind of happened to live there and became kind of like their ward, and how she gets sent off to this boarding school, you know, girls' school, reform school I guess would be the real term, and kind of like her adventures from there, and then into becoming a governess for a young French girl, and overall what happens there. So it's such a classic, and it's so much fun to reread it again, but through the perspective of someone who has a bit more personality, I would say. Obviously Jane Eyre can be really wordy and it's all inside her head. With Jane Steele, she's a bit more spunk to her, which I really enjoyed. And just, of course, the murder in it is amazing. So if that sounds awesome, if you love Jane Eyre, then you need to read this book. It was so much fun, and it's definitely one of my favorites thus far this year. After that, I went ahead and read Mariana by Susanna Kearsley, and then I also reread A Splendor Falls by Susanna Kearsley because I love her. But then I broke it up again with another book. It's When You Find Out What You're Made Of, which is by Michelle Kilmer, or technically Michelle von Eschen. Michelle, I actually worked with at Barnes & Noble in Seattle. So Michelle, if you're watching, hello. She is an awesome person, and her writing is really cool. She has a wonderful voice. It's very like, it has a lot of like depth and essence to it. You read it and you're just like, it just like has a lot to it, and it's like rich. It's rich writing, and it's a lot of fun. This one is a collection of short stories that she has, and I loved all of them. Generally what she writes is pretty horror, supernatural, paranormal, things kind of meshed in together, but there's always something kind of like odd and off about it, something creepy. So it was a lot of fun going through this book and reading it. It was the first thing I read by her. She does have a couple other things, but I say definitely check it out. It is a self-published book, so if you want to get it, if you're in the Seattle area, if you go to Alderwood, you can get it. It's in stock. Otherwise, you're gonna have to request it and have it sent to the store, or just go ahead and buy it off of bn.com or even Amazon. After that, I went ahead and read The Shadowy Horses by Susanna Kearsley. But then after that, I was introduced to a book, and it's called This Phenomenal Life, The Amazing Way We Are Connected to Our Universe by Misha Blaise. And it's a really cool, really small science book, and it's pretty much kind of like a spiritual science-y book. It's just pretty much being like, this is our universe, and this is how we are a part of the universe, like legit. And it kind of goes into the science of explaining that, and then it's got this beautiful artwork in it as well, which I absolutely adored. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I went ahead and actually did buy it for myself because I really liked the facts that were in there, the way that it was presented. The artwork is beautiful, and it wasn't that expensive. It was only $15, and it is a small hardcover. So definitely, if you can, just take a look at it. It's a quick read, you know, if you just go to the bookstore and pick it up. It'd take me like not even like 15 minutes, but it's really cool, and there's a whole bunch of facts in there that I had like no idea about. It kind of blew my mind. So that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that one. And then after that, now this is the book that I read here since moving to Florida that I actually want to talk about. If you watch Kayla Rain, she just did a video where she was talking about this book, and we kind of did a back and forth on her in her comment section about it. So if you want, you can go ahead and check that out. If you're not following her, you should. It's a great video, and she's a great booktuber, and I absolutely love her. Otherwise, it's Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. Now, she read the audiobook and she really liked it. I obviously just read the book because I bought it. The only reason that I bought this book is because the second book came out. I had been eyeing it for a while, but I was like, I don't know if I really want to purchase it, but I decided, you know, I just feel like it's something that I want, so I went ahead and did it, and I'm glad I did because definitely I enjoyed reading it. So pretty much it follows a girl named Rose and how she's riding her bike one day, and then suddenly there's a sinkhole and she falls in, and when she wakes up she finds herself resting in the palm of a giant silver metal hand, and she's like, the fuck? So jump forward like 17 years. Rose is then reintroduced to the program after it's been demilitarized, and she gets the chance to look at the hand again, figure out where it came from, why it was in the ground, what it's made from, and all this good stuff. And it kind of expands from that, because at that point, not only is she looking at the hand, she's looking at finding the rest of the body, right? If there's a hand, why wouldn't there be another hand? Why wouldn't there be an entire body? So then it kind of goes from there, and it's super cool. I really liked it. I personally, my favorite part about it is the way that it's written, because a lot of it is through interviews and case files from the perspective of the man who's kind of overseeing everything. But this man, you have no idea who he is, where he comes from, or why he's connected, or why it really matters to him. And he literally doesn't have a name or a face, really. He's just the person who pops in and is like, you need to tell me what's going on, you know? And he makes sure that the money's there, that they get where they need to go, that, you know, the facilities are immaculate and like perfectly stocked for them. Like, he's the one who oversees everything, but you like have no idea who he is. So I really enjoyed that aspect. that you are literally getting the information kind of with him, and you're getting all these different perspectives from different people on the team along with his. I'm also gonna say that I thought the ending was pretty cool. It kind of blew my mind. It wasn't something that I was really expecting, so it definitely makes me want to read the next book. I will say it's not like so awesome that I need the next book right now, but I did really enjoy it and I do look forward to reading that next book. Kayla, if you watch your video, did mention that you can kind of tell that it's a man who wrote this book, just in the way that he kind of treats the women and the relationships that they have with the other characters, and I definitely agree. There's the main romance and the obviously sex scene that happens in there, it's super weird, and it felt kind of, I don't know, it just felt kind of forced and kind of, I don't know, I felt uncomfortable reading it. So in that regard, I totally agree with her. And she has a little bit more on the subject, so I definitely say go to her channel if you're interested and check out her video and what she said on this book. Otherwise, I did enjoy it and I do want to know what happens, and I want to find out what happens in the next book, so eventually I will do that. Otherwise, to finish everything off, the last book that I read was A Season of Storms by SUSANNA KEARSLEY. Again, I had to bring something with me to Florida. How could I not? So, seeing as I had gone through most of her collection and read everything besides 3 of them at this point, I was like, Season of Storms, it's not as thick as The Winter Sea or Firebird, which I left at home. I remember the first time around, I didn't think it was like that great compared to the rest of her collection. So I really wanted to go back and reread and see how I felt. During the reread, definitely enjoyed it, definitely got more out of it. So, again, SUSANNA KEARSLEY is bae. Check her out. Otherwise, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. And please check out that Tango video once more. Selfless promotion. Please do it. Thank you. Otherwise, again, if you have any questions or comments or have anything to say about the books that I mentioned, please go ahead and leave me a comment in the down bar below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll check you guys out later.